Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to look at a speech by a doctor who wants to trans your kids. And by that, I mean surgery. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Right when Avery was handed to her mom sensed a special bond, a mother's intuition that Avery was different.
Oh, we all know where this is going, don't we?
On top of everything else, I think I'm getting my period.
And her parents, as soon as Avery was a preschooler, knew that as a daughter with a penis.
Oh, this is the stupidest of timelines.
There are no chicks with dicks, Johnny, only guys with tits.
They needed to advocate for her rights.
Exactly what rights? What rights do trans people not have that everyone else has?
And that they would allow her to live in her affirmed gender.
How would it even be possible for someone who hasn't gone through puberty to know all these things with such certainty? Spoiler alert, they don't.
Early on, they sought the help of a child psychologist so that she could live in her affirmed gender.
We've been over this.
Currently, only the principal at the school knows that Avery is gender expansive or transgender.
What's with inventing new words all the time? Gender expansive.
And when the signs of puberty started to show, they took her to a gender clinic for kids.
All right, now see right there, we got a problem.
The fact that that phrase even exists is a crime against humanity.
To start gender affirmation therapy.
What? I was told that never happens.
Which is the use of medicines and possibly surgery later on to physically align someone with the gender in which they identify.
No one under the age of 18 should be put on hormone treatments or be put through gender reassignment surgeries.
I am one of those pediatric endocrinologists or kids hormone doctors that treat children like Avery at Stanford Children's Health.
Well, that's your story. I think you're a despicable human being who prey on confused children.
And as a kids hormone doctor,
You're not a real doctor, are you?
I can't believe she just said that.
my training puts me in a unique situation to be able to help someone like Avery.
Yeah, you help them become lifelong patients and drug dependents.
And as a girl with a penis,
That will never not sound stupid.
Does your penis hurt?
No. What? Should it?
No? Just thought I'd toss you a really inappropriate question.
she is not going to have the chest development or the body shape that she wants.
That happens to a lot of real girls too. You're not guaranteed to be pretty in this life.
Instead, she is going to make testosterone.
Yeah, and when the testosterone hits, maybe the kid'll grow out of it. That happens a lot, you know.
Her face is going to develop facial hair. Her voice is going to deepen. Her Adam's apple is going to become more prominent. Her chest will broaden. And of course, her testes and penis will enlarge.
Yes, that's normal human development for a male.
Don't blame me. Blame my gender.
Her parents knew that these signs of puberty needed to be put on hold with the pubertal blocker, which is a medication that is used to stop the chemical messages from the brain to the rest of the body that says, hey, it's time to develop.
It's also the exact same medicine that is used to chemically castrate rapists. But you don't like to talk about that.
Well, yes, that is the idea.
Yeah, well, outside of landing the Hindenburg in a lightning storm, that's about the shittiest idea I've ever heard.
Oh boy.
And with the use of a pubertal blocker, I can give Avery another 2 to 3 years so that she can be consistent with the gender in which she identifies.
Yes, along with osteoporosis and a whole slew of other side effects, some of which aren't even known. But hey, why let a little thing like that get in the way?
And if she continues, then estrogen can be added
Ooh, yeah, that really gets the osteoporosis going.
to her therapy so that she could have the development that she would want.
Body modification for kids. It's great, isn't it?
However, if she should identify as the gender she was assigned at birth, the pubertal blocker can be stopped and she can have the pre-programmed puberty that she was supposed to have.
You have no idea what kind of psychological damage is incurred by delaying puberty for several years.
So in Avery's case, she's going to want estrogen. And later on, she can decide if gender affirmation surgery is right for her or not.
The amputation of perfectly fine working body parts can never be the solution.
Gender affirmation surgery is the removal of an ovary, uterus, penis, or testes.
Yes, like I said, removing perfectly good body parts.
That's just weird.
So that you could be physically aligned with the gender in which you identify.
Yeah, just keep on chopping off body parts. I'm sure that'll fix your psychological issues.
And right now, gender affirmation surgery is reserved only for those who are 18 years of age or older.
Okay, so that was a lie? I mean, I even know someone who had gender surgery way before 18. You may know her too. She's called Chloe Cole, and she's gathered lots of data proving that this happens all the time. She personally has since detransitioned, of course. Well, as far as you can detransition after surgery, that is. I mean, some things are irreparable. Anyway, you can check her out on Twitter if you're interested.
However, for someone like Avery, would it be more beneficial for her to undergo gender affirmation surgery before the age of 18?
Hey, moron! Fucking moron! Yeah, why don't we just let kids buy alcohol and join the military? We put limits on kids because they're fucking stupid and they don't know what they want.
18 is the age of majority, and many states have laws that prevent sterilization or the permanent removal of reproductive capability.
Good.
They were turned into eunuchs.
Eunuchs as in snippity-doo-dah?
However, these laws were made at a time in which transgender adults could not easily get medical or surgical treatment. And therefore, these laws were made when people like Avery were not being considered.
Yes, because back then people knew that kids have faces that they grow out of. I don't know why this is so hard to understand. Kids have always done things to shock and get attention. 20 years ago, that meant some bad tattoos or some ridiculous piercings. Nothing life-altering. You, on the other hand, want to cut off their genitals. Do you even listen to yourself?
And as I treat Avery, someone who identified as a preschooler,
You cannot be trans when you're a preschooler, for Christ's sake.
and is getting treatment as an adolescent, is the surgical world ready for the changes that are to come?
The fuck kind of ominous shit is that? You gonna start operating on them as soon as they're born?
Currently, I don't think so. But if we start thinking about these changes today, I think we can make a difference.
So in other words, you want to keep desensitizing people to this until you can get away with it.
And in fact, as transgender people are more openly being able to seek therapy, the demand for transgender surgery has increased by 5-fold over the past 5 years.
Look, if this happened in any other area of medicine, people would be like, whoa, there's like 5 times as much cancer in this area? Maybe we should do something to prevent that. But you just think it's great. This is a psychological contagion, and mutilating children is not a good thing. You absolute clown.
Morons.
18 is the age in which minors are protected from making permanent decisions about their reproductive health, because the thought is then at 18 they can decide what they would like to do.
This is a good thing. I don't understand why you don't want to protect kids.
However,
No, there is no however.
if as soon as pubertal blockers were added and then estrogen was added to her therapy, Avery's testes never developed. In fact, she does not make any sperm. And her reproductive capability to be a biological parent has been eliminated.
You'd think she'd continue this by saying, wow, that's sad, this person will never have children. But no, she's going to turn this around into an argument for more drugs and more surgery. Can you fucking believe it?
Her testes are non-functional. And in medicine, don't we often recommend the removal of non-functional organs, like an appendix?
I mean, I'm kind of speechless at this point. You caused the organs to become useless. You did the harm. This is like your friend crashing your car and coming back saying, hey, at least you don't have to pay for repairs ever again.
What are you, the village idiot?
So therefore, does it make sense for Avery to wait until she's 18?
Yes, she might have gotten over it by then.
Or should older adolescents be allowed to have surgery before the age of 18?
No, absolutely not. When you're 18, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but until that time, you do not cut off your genitals.
The transgender patient may be one of the most well-informed patients.
What? You just pulled that out of your ass. Citation needed.
Who else has had years of psychological evaluation, months of medical therapy, and has thought of this one procedure for so long?
Anyone who has a serious illness? This is bullshit.
You really are a moron.
So rather than to use strict age limits for eligibility, why not use the number of years in which one has lived in their affirmed gender?
Because their brain hasn't fully developed, and as a doctor, you should know this.
And insurances and laws should consider older adolescents in getting gender affirmation surgery.
No, they really shouldn't, you asshole. See my previous argument.
Now, these surgeries are not simple surgeries.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's the understatement of the year.
These are complex surgeries that require very specific pre- and post-operative care.
Yeah, for life.
I didn't realize it was possible for a woman to be unusually irritable.
In fact, from the transition of male to female, you need to have up to 6 months of electrolysis before the procedure. And then afterwards, daily exercises so that you can keep the grafted tissue functional.
Yeah, you've been given an open wound and the body is gonna fight to try to close it.
By having an older adolescent have the support of their parents to receive this procedure and afterwards have the best surgical results, we're able to prevent corrective surgeries down the road.
That's not even true. Without puberty, your penis is not going to grow to its full size and you have nothing to invert. You yourself went over that just a few minutes ago.
So why not allow older adolescents before they leave the home to have these procedures?
Because, and try to follow me on this, they're too young!
And be able to live authentically.
That's such a massive cliche. What the fuck does that even mean?
Until recently, it was not easy for transgender adolescents to receive pubertal blockers.
Translation: until recently, people were sane.
Previously, they had to undergo the programmed puberty that they were to have, and that caused psychological distress.
Going through a perfectly normal biological function causes psychological distress, yo.
You've caused me considerable mental distress.
Certainly hope so.
So imagine you go through your first puberty, and then you get to do it again a second time, but with the opposite sex hormones. Now that is even more distressful.
That's not how it works. You don't get 2 puberties. You get one, and if you start taking hormones, you don't get a second one.
However, one may argue that being able to have your first puberty and have your organs fully mature is the actual advantage, because now sperm and egg could be preserved and you could preserve your biological parenting.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Now watch this woman turn that into a disadvantage.
However, this does come at a cost. You're now going to need more corrective surgeries, such as facial redefining surgery, shaving of the Adam's apple, and even top surgery. And all of that is even more distressful.
These people treat having kids like it's only something weirdos want.
For someone like Avery, who's always lived her entire life in the identified gender, puberty is going to out her, and that will also be leading to psychological distress.
Yeah, like I said, so what if you can't have kids? Nobody normal wants that.
So help me if I wake up and I'm singing soprano.
Embryologic development follows a very specific pattern, and then the two differentiate into male and female organs. But this initial analogy and similarity in tissue is important, and that is what doctors today use so that from the male genitalia, a vagina can be created. And afterwards, even physicians cannot tell the difference.
That's just a blatant lie. I did the research. I saw the photos. There's no way anyone who's seen the real thing would be fooled for a second.
Parents often ask me, what will it be like for my child or teen as an adult? Honestly, I don't know.
You don't even have the confidence to say it'll be great? The fuck is this? Anyway, that's it. I can't take it anymore. So thanks for watching and see you next time.
To each his own. Her. I meant her.